Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Zeldin, I want to discuss another issue with you that's affected the western United States significantly, especially Arizona on the Navajo Nation, and that's the issue of abandoned uranium mines. We have about 500 of them. The nation's been working to clean up these mines for decades now, but the bureaucratic process of the Superfund law has meant that very little progress has been made on this. And it contaminates water, and just the radiation itself causes cancer. One step which was taken during the last Trump administration was to establish a regional office called the Office of Mountains, Deserts, and Plains, which would focus on cutting through the bureaucracy and accelerating the cleanup of mines in the West. Senator Lummis and I introduced legislation last Congress which passed this committee unanimously, called the Legacy Mine Cleanup Act, which would authorize the creation of the office and accelerate mine cleanup across the western United States. So will you commit to having your team review the legislation quickly so we can then incorporate EPA's feedback before we introduce the bill this year?
Yes, Senator.
And will you commit to ensuring the issue of abandoned uranium mines remains a priority for the EPA?
Yes, Senator.
Well, thank you for that. And then one final thing I want to discuss with you is, and I know you've spoken about this during the hearing already today. I was not in the room, but my understanding is you talked about PFAS. And as we discussed in my office last week, groundwater is the backup source of drinking water for both Phoenix and Tucson, and it's in an aquifer mostly under the city of Tucson where Gabby and I live. And this has become more critical, this backup water supply, as the drought conditions in the West has worsened. But especially the groundwater under Tucson in those aquifers have been contaminated with growing PFAS plumes. And the city had to shut down nearly 30 groundwater wells because the water exceeded EPA's drinking water limits. And to date, the city has spent more than $71 million on remediation costs and are in negotiations with EPA Region 9, with the Air Force, with the state, with Tucson Airport, and other private parties to resolve this. And throughout this process and spanning across presidential administrations, EPA Region 9 has been a consistent partner in addressing these challenging issues. So, Mr. Zeldin, if confirmed, will you commit to working with my team and the city of Tucson to address the Tucson PFAS contamination?
Yes, Senator.
So thank you, Mr. Zeldin. Thank you for spending the time. I know this has been a long process and a long hearing. It's great seeing your family here, and look forward to having the opportunity in the committee and eventually on the floor for the vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.